We're talking about food.
You start exactly. You push it on a record and you said play them. Yeah.
Uh, what food is popular in your country?
Hmm.
Chicken, steak, fish, what?
Everything.
Everything? Uh, in Clayton's country yesterday, Ukraine, they had a school shooting. Some 17-year-old went in and I think killed 17 students. You hear about that? That happened in the Ukraine, and that's almost unheard of. Some of these other countries. It happens in our country pretty often. But I'm sure it was Ukraine played.
Not Georgia.
It wasn't Georgia. I believe it was Ukraine. Ukraine and Georgia love one another.
No, it's in nature. We don't. I mean, we don't. Georgian people come to Ukraine and cook food on a bus station.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, anyhow, even McDonald's food.
McDonald's in Ukraine so good. McDonald's in Ukraine, it's so good. Like it's good. It's got a good tasting, different menu. It's so good. I mean, it's not like here. McDonald's in Ukraine, like kids, I mean, me, like everybody loves McDonald's.
That's what Millie said last night. She's from Serbia. She said McDonald's was much, much better. Like Georgia was saying in Georgia, McDonald's is a pretty nice restaurant. You go in and sit down. You have double the menu that we have, and a burger tastes a whole lot different on what they put on it, or if they have, beef is beef, but it may be fed different stuff, who knows? But so McDonald's, she was disappointed when she came here. Our McDonald's. So your McDonald's is a lot different too.
Fries, it's so good. Fries, it's the best. Good. I mean, tastes good. It's, a big tasty. My favorite burger in McDonald's, it's big tasty. It's the biggest burger in our menu, and they have a special sauce. It's very nice.
Okay. Well, anyway, that's different culture, different countries, all different. Uh, but anyway, hopefully somebody's going to travel with some of these countries.
It's not good to travel to Ukraine.
Well,
It's not really good to travel to Ukraine. It's nothing good. You're not gonna see any good.
oh, there's a lot of countries you should travel to. I would want to travel to Saudi Arabia right now, or Iran, or Iraq, or Afghanistan, some countries. But anyway, some of them just don't travel to. But anyhow. Okay, looks like we've got what we've got today. We keep losing people to live streaming. I hope they send in summaries, and I did get a text from two or three that are live streaming. I was telling my accounting principal students, so after we got through talking about McDonald's, and I'm sure Kentucky Fried Chicken is different all over the world too. They don't have the same recipe we do. Do you?
That's
Okay, Georgia, Clayton hadn't heard about it. Did you hear about, there was a school shooting in the Ukraine yesterday, killed 17?
18.
18, you heard about that.
Yes.
It was Ukraine. But that hardly ever happens in your own country, does it?
I mean, it can happen in anywhere.
I'm sure it can happen anywhere.
But I haven't heard one in Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia, I hadn't heard one, Georgia, Ukraine, anything. Okay. All right, do you know what city it was in the Ukraine?
Crimea. Crimea is not Ukraine.
It's what?
It's Russia. It's not Ukraine. Russia is occupied.
Oh, Russia's occupying it?
Yeah. Nobody go to Crimea anymore. I mean, they destroyed it. You know, I mean, I mean, you cannot do nothing. I mean, it's not the president. Like, I mean, it's not that some people want to join Europe, some people don't want to join Europe because it's no point to join Europe. And people is not like in a Europe, you know. I mean, some people want to join Europe, some people no. I mean, how we can join the? I mean, it's unbelievable country, you know. I mean, it's any standard there. I mean, for me, like it's better to join Russia because I mean it's better. I mean, we're like different countries completely. Even Serbian people are different than Ukrainian. You know.
Well, I guess it's not a perfect place to live. There's always some
Very
problems,
good place,
but,
but it has some good.
but yeah, some of your own countries have had it rough. Had it rough. Being part of the USSR at one time. Right, what? Okay, so some of our citizens don't know how lucky they have it.
European Union wants to separate because you know every time you know they talking about to separate. You know. And I mean, they even fighting between in Europe, Spain, this all this you know, Germany, they complain because they don't want to give money to any country, Greece, you know, they don't know what they're talking about. Even the US, you know, US is, you know, Saudi Arabia, they give the scholarships for Saudi Arabian students. And these oil prices, I mean, oil prices go up, Russia is doing better, you know, this was what's Trump doing, people don't understand.
Well, now Saudi Arabia students, I think their country pays for their,
I mean, but I mean, they kind of together with US.
yeah.
And now it's about the journalist. I mean, it's, you know, they're doing this on a purpose. It's same like Trump saying with Canada. It's the same. It's the neighbors and we don't want to be friends with Canada anymore. But they talk something about Ukraine. Something.
Okay. You should be a politician, Clayton. But anyhow, all right. For your country. Anyway, let's look at your homework. I'm not spending a lot of time on it, but I asked you to do exercise, I guess, 2 through 7. And these are some of those little budgets for whether it's production or sales. And these lead all up to the cash budget. But look at number 2. We're on page 392. And we're on exercise 2. This is production budget. Now, sales for April is 50,000. Sales for July is 80,000. The company is now in the process of preparing a production budget for the second quarter. That'd probably be April, May, and June, something like that. Now, past experience have showed at the end of the month inventory levels must equal 10% of the following month's unit sales. The inventory at the end of March was 5,000. Okay. Now, just reading that for what it says, the end of the month inventory levels must equal 10% of the following month's unit sales. Now, what is 10% of March? 5,000. What's 10% of 5,000? 500. Okay. We know we need 500 next month just to have end of the month inventory. All right. Now that was March. How about April? We're going to sell 50,000. So how many do we need to produce is the question. How many do we need to produce in April? All right. Go ahead and look at this production budget. All right. Budget unit sales. We got to produce. Now, where do we get add desired units of finished goods inventory? Where do we get to 7,500?
75,000.
What? Where's the 7,500 come from?
10% of cents based on.
10% of the next month, right? 10% of the next month will be add desired units of ending finished good inventory. Okay? Now the 5,000 came from what? Less units of beginning finished goods inventory. Where's the 5,000 come from?
10% of it.
10% of this month's sale?
Yeah.
5,000. Okay, so 50,000. So you just have to read that well enough to see what's happening. Okay? Mark, since you didn't do your homework, let me pick a month. Where's the 9,000 come from?
From the 9,000.
10% of 90, right?
Yeah.
So Clayton, since you didn't do your homework, where's the 8,000 come from? Anyone, where's that 8 come from?
80,000.
All right. July, 10% of 80,000. Because this was 10% of 90,000, this is 10% of 75,000. So all you gotta do is keep your beginning and ending inventory straight. And we're always gonna have to produce more than we sell. We're gonna sell 50, we're gonna produce 52.5. Here we're gonna sell 75. We produce 76.5. Now, that difference there is, we want 9,000 left, but we already had 7,500. So that's just a difference of 1,500, okay? Now, that's a production budget, and I don't think you have any trouble with it. Now, looking at some of these other minor budgets, number 3, a direct materials budget. Again, you gotta read it the way it is. The cost of musk oil is $1.50 a gallon. Budgeted production of careless is given below by quarters. All right. Now, year 2 and year 3, first, second, third, fourth quarter. Okay, musk oil has become so popular as a perfume ingredient that it has become necessary to carry large inventories as a precaution against stockouts. For this reason, the inventory of musk oil at the end of a quarter must equal to 20% of the following quarter production needs. Some 36,000 of musk oil will be on hand. Now, we know we get stock outs on Christmas time. If something is really underproduced, like what's been hot items near Christmas time? Wasn't it some kind of a top and animal or something one Christmas? And there was stock outs. And was there a Cabbage Patch doll? Monique, did you not get a Cabbage Patch doll when you were younger? They sold out of those at Christmas. Some people were paying up to $1,000 for a Cabbage Patch doll. And some of them even go to other countries trying to get their grandkids or their kids a Cabbage Patch doll. So when they're stock out, prices really soon. Now, for you females, we're talking about musk oil. Is that a real ingredient in perfume, or do you know?
Oil?
Musk oil. Is that a real ingredient, Georgia, in perfume? Don't know. I don't either. Must be. Okay. They used to sell a musk aftershave for men lotion, but I don't know if it had musk oil in it or not. Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay. Now, Georgia, have you got this problem, number 3? Have you got it? Okay. Now, Monique, you have it. What is your answer for the first quarter, Monique?
297.
All right, let's just look at Monique's answer here, okay? All right. We need 60,000 units first quarter. Required production of finished goods. Now, we're doing a materials budget. It takes 3 units of materials, so we need 180,000. Now, here is what you gotta calculate. Where does the 54 come from, honey? You gotta calculate 54, I think. You want that much left in ending inventory. What percent is that of what? That's materials. Divide 54 by 3. 54 by 3. I was wondering if it'd be 18. We have to have 3. 3 18s would be 54. But anyway, do you see where you got that at all, Monique? Where'd it come from? Don't remember? Georgie? All right, let's go on through here. We're gonna find those. Total units of materials needed, 234,000. List units of beginning inventory, 36. You gotta go to where that came from. And then units of raw materials to be purchased. That's materials. And you pay $1.50 a piece. So you're gonna pay 297,000.
Oh, 54 is from here.
From where? Did they give it to you?
No, you have to calculate 20% of second quarter, 20% of 90,000, that's 18,000. Multiplied by.
Wait a minute, whoa, slow down,
Oh,
slow down. How about just taking 20% of 270? Does that work?
The first quarter's ending inventory is calculated by the second quarter's units multiplied by 20%. So you take 90,000 multiplied by 20%, 18,000, and then you multiply that by 3.
That's why I divide the 3. So if you see if you get that 18, but why can't you just do this? Why can't we just take, since we've already multiplied by 3 here, take 20% of 270,000. See what that gives you? You already multiplied,
Yeah.
that gave 54.
Yeah.
So, and that is materials. Now, if you multiply by 90, that's units. But if you multiply by here, that's material. Okay? All right, so 20% of 270 will give you 54. That's what you want in desired ending inventory. So where does the 90 come from?
20% of the 450.
450 times 20%. And the 60, 20% of 300. And the 42. That's for the year. Okay, we'd have to have the first quarter of next year. Okay. All right.
Next year.
Yeah. Okay, now, down to here. We know this 24, 54 comes from here, don't it? Beginning, ending one year is beginning next year, right? If this is ending, it's gotta be beginning next quarter. If this is ending, it's gotta be beginning, ending, beginning, ending. Well, we don't, that's for the year. See where that comes from? Your ending is from your beginning. Your beginning is your ending for last period. Now, where did 36 come from?
That's the beginning inventory, first quarter.
They gave you that probably, didn't they? Okay. Okay, it's easy to see that, but you need to practice it, okay? All right, so it's just a matter of reading these and see what you take your percent off. Okay, moving on to, I guess, number 4. Direct labor budget. All right, first quarter, we're producing 8,000 units. Third quarter, 7,000 units. Now, what is our labor per unit? Using Schedule 4 as your guide, prepare the company's direct labor budget. Okay? Prepare the company's budget for the upcoming fiscal year, assuming that the direct labor workforce is not adjusted each quarter. Instead, assume that the company's direct labor workforce consists of permanent employees who are guaranteed to be paid for at least 2,600 hours. Now, if the number of required direct labor hours is less than this number, the workers are paid 2,600 hours anyway. Any hours worked in excess of 2,600 are paid at the rate of 1.5 times or overtime. All right. Again, I don't know. Bayer, do you have this one? What was your first quarter on number 4? All right. So let's see where these items came from. All right, 8,000 units. Now this was given for each unit. It takes what, 35% of an hour? All right. So these many units times 35% of an hour. So we need 2,800 hours. But now it says something about paying for 26. But if we go across and multiply, we see that 22, 75, 24, 26, and so on for the year. Okay, now you're paying $12 an hour, I suppose. And that's the 33.6, 27.3, and so on. Now that's easy up to that point. But what are we missing here? Is it not taking into account overtime?
Yeah, 1.5 times the rate.
All right. Assuming direct labor workforce is not adjusted each quarter and overtime wages are paid, the direct labor budget would look like this. Now, this is where we pay overtime, isn't it? All right. Now, if we look up here versus here, we get overtime in excess of, all right, 2,600. So that is overtime. And overtime would be what, $18 an hour?
Yes.
All right. So regular wages is $12 an hour, and overtime is $18 an hour, or 1.5 times 12, same thing. So here, if you don't pay overtime, 33.6. And if you do pay overtime, 34.8. So that was easy enough. But now, some of these may change drastically. This one, for example, all right, 27.3. But we're supposed to pay them for 26 no matter what, right? So even though they made under, if they make over 26, they get overtime. Under 26, they get regular time up to 26. So each one of these was under 26. Okay. Now this one has 25 hours of overtime. And it should reflect that, I suppose. 25 hours times $18 should be $450. Okay, so a labor budget. Now, why do we need to know this amount?
Whatever.
What?
That last amount? Which amount are you talking about?
Yeah, but why do we need to know it though, Georgie? In the first place.
What amount are you talking about?
All right, let's go all the way back. Number 1 was collections, right? We collect money, prediction, forecast, a budget, a plan for next year. And we're going to collect 265,000. Now we gotta know how we're gonna spend it. That's what all these other little budgets are. Okay? Just for our materials, 52.5. All right? Was that materials or what was that? No, that was just sales, wasn't it? That was sales. We've already got collections. All right? But here is our materials cost. And here is our labor cost. They're all part of a budget. That's just like you doing a budget. You know what you're going to collect next year, maybe. Well, somebody may get back a tax refund that you weren't counting on. You may get extra money you weren't counting on. But you know, you got that food bill for the month of January. You were doing a next year budget. You got that rent or house payment, car payment, insurance payment. The car insurance may only be every 6 months, property taxes once a year. So you make a home budget the same way. Here we're paying out wages and materials, okay? So these are a lot of little budgets. That's going to work up to a cash budget. Okay, then we go to exercise, what, 5? Manufacturing overhead budget. Now we got budget direct labor hours, 8,000. It's the same as the problem above. The company uses hours as your base. The variable portion of predetermined factory overhead is $325 an hour. And its total fixed cost is $48,000 per quarter. The only non-cash item included in fixed manufacturing is depreciation, which is $30,000 or $16,000 per quarter. Now use Schedule 5 in your book as a guide. Okay, in the back, do you have an answer back there? Do you have an answer to this one?
Number 5,
Yeah.
the first part is 58,000.
How much?
58,000.
All right, now let's look at this one. This is an overhead budget. All right, our variable overhead is $325 an hour. For 8,000 hours, $26,000. Our fixed overhead every quarter is 48,000. All right, so our total overhead now, we're supposed to pay out 74,000, but we only pay out 58,000. Now, what is the deal about depreciation again? I asked you this. What?
No cash.
You don't pay cash out, do you? You don't pay cash out for depreciation. So even though our overhead is 74,000, we only have to plan to pay out 58. And that's what goes in our budget, 58. So there was no problem in doing an overhead budget. Now what they asked in number 2, what did they ask in number 2? Part 2 of this problem, what did they ask?
Compute the company's predetermined overhead rate.
Compute the predetermined overhead rate. All right. Now, where did this figure come from? Did they give it to you? They had to give it to you, didn't they? Or we got it up here. We got it right here. Total manufactured overhead. So it is given once we work this out. Budget direct labor hours for the year, 32.5. That's right here too. So for the year, 32.5 divided into 297 would give us 916 an hour.
Wait, in this 297, there is no depreciation included.
What now?
There is no depreciation included in 297.
Exactly.
Or
No, we didn't take it out. We take,
oh, it is.
yeah, we take our predetermined overhead. We ignore depreciation in or out. We know what our total overhead is. Our rate's gonna be 916 an hour. But now if we use that rate, which includes appreciation, somewhere along the way, we may have to take out fixed cost, okay? Because this is a fixed cost. Okay, so that is an overhead budget. So what does number 6 bring us? Selling and administrative budget. It's about the same thing. Just have to watch what they say about percents, this and that. Okay, so fixed selling and administrative include advertising, salaries, depreciation. In addition, the company will make insurance payments in the first quarter and in the third quarter. Okay, finally, property tax of $8,000 will be paid in the second quarter. So that's just like a home budget. You know, I pay my property taxes once a year. I just got the bill for real estate and for automobiles. Okay, I pay my automobile insurance twice a year, or my home insurance maybe once a year. So your budget at home would be planning in some of the same things. Okay, Monique, do you have an answer for the first quarter?
5,000.
See, it says it takes you all of 15 minutes. So if we added up 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, you may have had an hour or a little better of homework, okay? All right, but some of you are better than 15 minutes. What you said the answer was again, Monique?
85,000.
All right, so let's see what we have. Budgeted sales 15 has to be given. They gave you the 250, so your expense will be 37.5. All right, now your fixed selling administrative, fixed, and depreciation fixed 68,000. All right, so your total selling administrative is 105. But you don't put 105 in the budget because you don't have to pay out for depreciation, at least 85.5. So this was straightforward. There's no tricks, no percents, no beginnings, no endings, okay? So you could do a budget, of course, for selling administrative. Okay, number 7 was a cash budget. Now, number 7 is the most important budget, okay? And that's what we're going to lead up to, and we're going to practice a bunch of cash budgets. Okay, the company's beginning and cash balance for the upcoming year will be $20,000. The company requires a minimum cash of 10 and may borrow any amount, all right? And you pay an interest rate of 3%. Okay, using Schedule 8 as your guide, prepare the company's cash budget. Now, we've been doing little mini budgets up to this point. Now, if you're going to have short of cash, you need to borrow, right? That's where a line of credit, which you should study in your finance class, a line of credit comes in handy. I just got a letter from my bank yesterday asking me to want a line of credit. And I was already pre-approved, but I don't need a line of credit. I had one with them one time, never did use it, but it goes against not your credit rating, but if you went to borrow money somewhere else, it goes against your borrowed money. It's like money you owe the bank or something, but you don't owe them. It's crazy how it works. I don't want a line of credit again. Now, if I were in the car business or something like that, I'd need a line of credit. Okay? All right, so that's what you might need on this cash budget. Now we're going to look at this cash budget. Then we're going to practice cash budgets, okay? All right, here we got a beginning balance. Now this comes from your collection from sales, don't it? And that gives you cash available. Now less total cash disbursements. Those may be for materials, labor, overhead, selling, administrative. Okay, and we got a deficiency of cash of 60. We need to go borrow at least 70 because we want a 10,000 balance to start with. Now, nobody would like to get a bad check. Some of these companies, if they don't budget and they don't borrow, you can get a bad check. That'd be pretty bad morale too, wouldn't it? Okay, so right here, of course, here you had to borrow. Here, I guess you paid some back plus interest. And you came out okay over here. Now, if you had too much cash, you might want to invest it, right? Okay, now I'm going to leave this one on the screen. I want you to go to page 395. Page 395. And I want you to look at exercise 11.
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
How did I calculate the interest? On the payment
3%.
of 70,000?
Yeah.
It doesn't, it's not 4,200.
No. But how long was it for though? How long was the interest for?
4 months?
All right. What is 3% of 70,000?
2,100.
How much?
2,100.
Or 21,000?
No, 2,100.
2,100? All right. Did you borrow this for 2 years? You know, if you paid, is it over a 2-year period? If it were, you'd have to pay 2 years of interest, 4,200. I'd have to read it.
It says you can repay it by the end of any quarter you want to.
All right, but here's how you do it, Georgia. Must be for 2 years. Okay. All right, this.
You repaid it in the second quarter.
Well, what was that 3% for? Was that per quarter?
Quarterly interest rate of 3%.
All right, in 2 quarters, it's times 2. It's really 6% for 2 quarters. It's 12% for a year. You didn't pay it back for 2 quarters. Think about it, Georgia. It'll work out.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to problem 11. All right, you 2 ladies in here, see if you can do quarters 1 and 2. And the rest of you all, see if you can do quarters 3 and 4. All I want you to do is fill in some question marks to get familiar with the cash budget. All right, if you're at a table together, try to work it together. All right, Greg, do you have a book? Or you'll work with her? Okay. Take a minute, see if you can plug in those question marks. I just got 2 or 3 texts of people watching live stream. One has the flu. If they have the flu, I'm glad they're home. All right. Now, anybody watching live stream or anybody in here, if they haven't seen your test grade, I've got all those graded and recorded. For those of you who were absent, they went over. So, Clayton, you still owe me test 2. Better soon take it, or you'll creep up and be due test 3. I believe you said you're going to take it this coming Tuesday. Okay.
Maybe Thursday.
Maybe two. Maybe two, you can.
I want to ask you something. I mean, but after class, I didn't do my taxes last year, and I want to do my taxes, and they said that I have to go talk with you about taxes. I have federal tax something.
You get a W-2 last year?
Yeah, I mean, they gave it to me.
You worked up here?
Yeah.
Well, if you'd have done your taxes, you'd probably got back a refund.
Yeah, that's what I want. I mean, but I have to fill out something, and they said that I have to go to see you.
I don't have anybody do them now, but I'll have them trained around February. So come see me around February, we do them for both years. We're doing them for both years, okay?
Is it taking a long time? Jacob did for me one time. It took him 5 minutes.
Yeah, it took Jacob 5 minutes, and, you get a refund, you electronic refund in 2 weeks. Georgia can do
Yeah, no problem.
it. $100, they might not get that much refund, Georgia.
I got 130 something.
Huh?
I got 130. It's fine. I will do one in February.
Yeah, they're good, we're doing both years, we get back, both years.
Okay, it's needed.
All right. Take a minute and try to plug in these question marks, folks.
What will be the third test, chapter 6 and 8?
6, that's, don't play basketball. Yeah. Go ahead and go my basketball. I can't transfer, probably 3 or 4, I'm not sure. I don't want to go. I don't either, I have to look them up. Hey, sis. I gotta get back to class. You got it filled in, Georgie?
Yeah, I got it.
My daughter, she had to tell me status. My granddaughter in the 11th grade is on the volleyball team for her school, and they were playing for the state championship today. So they were in the top 2, but they lost, but they're at least number 2 in the state. So okay, let's go ahead and look at number 11 and see what you did. Now, you may have to go backwards on these. And anyway, did you get yours filled in? Okay. All right, beginning cash. Now, you know, you got two missing items here. You can't take 65 and do anything to it. You gotta do something else, I suppose. So less disbursements, you know, total cash disbursements is 73. Okay, now we know 73 from 71 is a -2. But what you have to do to plug in that 6? Who had that one? On me? How'd you plug in that 6?
No, they gave you the so you had to plug in 65.
Oh, they gave you the 6 and the 7. Oh, okay. Okay, the stars they gave you. Well, that'd be easy then. What do I add to 6 to get 71? All right. And this will be easy. Hey, if I total 73 and I subtract 2 and 8, 35, that leaves what? 48. All right. And here, total disbursements. We know we're -2. We want to keep 5 on the hand, so we have to borrow 7. Borrow 2 here and 5 here is 7. All right. So those were easy to plug in, weren't they? Okay. Now, those are real easy to plug in. You were supposed to do this little bitty short cash disbursement. Now this is about as short as you can get it. Right here, that was as short as you could get one. Now number 11 is all your possibilities. Okay. All right, so we're going to do some cash budget. You are going to have a cash budget like this on the test. So we're going to practice some cash budgets. So you don't have to do an income statement, balance sheet. We're going to skip some of these other budgets. Because we don't get them to the end of the chapter on the problem. All right, I want you to do problem 19 and 20. And 20, let's see. 24, 19, 20, 24. And also 25. Now, I definitely want you to do number 24. I want you to have that one ready to hand in on Tuesday. Number 24 to hand in. This is for your own benefit, to learn how to do a cash budget.
Can you go down a little bit, scroll down?
The what?
Can you please scroll down the exercise?
All right. I didn't show you the borrowing. Here we had to borrow 7, but now here, what do we have? 15? What do we have? We had to borrow 15 more. All right, to take care of the -10 plus we want 5. And here, are we starting to pay some back? Pay back 6. 7 and 15 is what? 22. 6 and 17. We're paying back 23. I don't know, I have to read the problem. But anyway, we had to borrow here. We had excess cash here and here. Okay, let's go ahead and look at problem 19 together, okay? 8-19. Let's take a minute and look at that together. All right? Because some of your problems are based on this. All right, if you don't practice these, you might as well not take the test. They just give me a 0. I don't know how to do it. If you practice, you'll know how to do it. But anybody in class and anybody online, a lot of you have not seen your grades. If you email me, I'll be glad to email you your grade. Or I'll be glad to go over it with you if you come by and see me. But the grades on this last test, they were not great. Those who were in class, we were over that day, you did pretty good. Those who didn't care to come and look at their test did not do so good, most of them. I'll probably end up dropping a low grade if we have 4 tests. But some people have 2 bad grades already. But if you take the best grade out of the 2 and do well on the next 2 tests, you can still get a good grade out of the course. I mean, there's still plenty of room to do well. All right. Now, this cash budget takes 45 minutes per problem. Okay. Now, here we'd have to get to cash sales in May, collections on accounts receivable 54, May sales 50% of 140,000. Now, that's total cash collections. But now I want you to take a minute and read paragraph A. Read paragraph A, which is A. Go ahead and read that so you can see where all this came from. You'll have it in similar problems. Okay, if you read that right, you collected 60,000 in advance. Cash sales. Now your total sales was 200,000, right? And if you 60 from 200 is how much? 140,000. And it says you'll collect half of that this month. So what is half of 140,000? 70. Now it says you will collect the remainder, what, the next month? So this other 70 we'll collect next month. So where did we get this 54? We had to know last month.
Yeah,
What was, we had to know last month's, didn't we?
yeah, 54,000. Yeah.
All right. Did they give you that amount?
Yeah.
Flat out gave it to you. Okay. But now that's collections. All right. And then we go a schedule of disbursements. This is probably number 2. This works the same way. How do you pay your accounts payable? You got to buy materials, and your accounts payable balance is 63,000. You're going to pay that, and you're going to pay 40% of your new purchases. So, all right, we got 111 going out for materials then, don't we? All right, we got this much money coming in, 184. We've already got this much money going out, first step. And this is materials, don't count labor and overhead, sale and administrative. So they may be in trouble cash wise. You got to have cash flow in your business. All right, so part 3 was a cash budget without going through all the other schedules. Beginning cash balance 9, collections 184. Your first payment's 111. All right. Now they're just giving you one-liners here. You didn't have to figure it out. Now we got selling and administrative, and we may have to buy some equipment. So we've got cash available of this much. We've got cash going out of this much. That leaves us excess cash of 35. Now, do we need to borrow? What do we want to start next month with? All right. If we borrow 20,000, we pay 14.5 and 100 interest. Total financing is 5,400. How does that read on that anyway? Read number 3. Or B. Read C. No, that didn't help. It'd be E. A lot of it would be E. The notes payable on April the 30th. Where's the other information on that note? Does anybody see it? Oh, got to read G. During May, the company will borrow 20,000. So it tells you they will borrow 20. It tells you they will pay interest. And it tells you how much the payment is. So they tell you that. All right. They ask you to do an income statement and balance sheet. You do not have to do the income statements or the balance sheet on these problems. Just do the cash budget. That'll cut your time down from 45 minutes to maybe 25. Okay, with that, I'm going to call it a day, and please do some homework this time.